I'm here. Hello there. Okay. Let me just go through the chats. I think I saw some activity happening on Twitch before, which very rarely happens, but yeah. All right. It doesn't look okay. I guess not. All right. All good. Well, let me go check the YouTube chat real quick. So for those who don't know, I am streaming on Twitch as well, in case that's something people prefer. It's up to you, of course, no pressure. Whatever's more convenient. That's why I stream on both. Hey, Cool Beans. Oh yeah, that was very interesting. Actually, let's go back and rewatch that. I know I just played that for the thing, but I haven't watched it in a while. I haven't watched it for a week, that is. Um, is this a bot live? No, this is not a bot. This is not a bot live. I've been reading Homestuck for I think a year now. I think it's been a year. Feels like a year. Yeah, it's probably been a year that I've been reading Homestuck for, and I was like trying to figure out how much I've read of it. Like, am I halfway through? Because I thought, oh, maybe I'm halfway through it, and I don't think I'm anywhere close to halfway through from the looks of it. But it's hard for me to tell. It's just his intro thing. Yeah, all right. So a few things I'll just want to talk about before I start. YouTube has made a decision where basically, I mean, I'm nowhere on the way it was before, the way the whole YouTube monetization was before. I wasn't really close to reaching the required watch time hours for that, which was, but I figured, eventually one day it would happen. But yeah, it looks like I'm getting further away from that because they've doubled their requirements for that now. So, it's a bummer, but, it's okay. Uh, oh, I'm getting close to halfway through. Oh, that's good to know. That's great to know. And then over on Twitch, I had to manually do this myself because they set this by default where um they had like something set up where it's like if you're using Twitch, you are giving Twitch permission to copy your live streams for an AI thing, which I thought was so stupid that was put on by default. So I'm annoyed at both platforms for two different reasons. And yeah, it's not good what's happening on either one. Uh yeah. Yeah, it's just what's the word? It's dismaying. It's very dismaying. But I'll keep despite despite them. I'm going to keep reading Homestuck until it's finished. Until it's finished, and depending on how I feel about the ending of Homestuck, maybe I'll just keep reading more of Andrew Hussey's stories because I know he's got a couple of them, and apparently they're all connected with Homestuck, but I don't know a lot about it. All right. Now, in case you're wondering why the arrow here is purple, it's not because I read anything. I didn't read ahead. I just was looking for potential thumbnails, but none of them were to my liking, so I stuck with this one. Now let's go rewatch Wake again, just so that I can refresh myself on what happened last time. I do remember Vriska getting into a fight with Tavros and kicking him off into hell or something. By the way, that's a really good opening guitar at the beginning of that song. So the fish girl got sliced in half, so I guess her dream self has died. Cat girl's fish self, cat girl's dream self died. If I, that would be their prospect, right? Oh, that's right. This is how she exploded. Everyone's becoming a type of god. And that's Vriska. She looks different somehow. Okay, so she stopped him. Will she kill him? Okay, so he's fallen off. Kablamo. This is a version of Megalovania, so kick ass. Uh, is Megalovania a type of game? Because he's all sprawled out. Okay, he's got it. I wonder, did he die? He probably hasn't died, but he looks like he's dead. Kanaya, view Rose. All right. You have already viewed this moment 100 times. It is no less confounding on your 101st. There is nothing otherwise unusual about the scene. A simple girl is understanding preoccupied by her handsome assortment of orbs, while surrounded by her ever-growing band of amphibious and reptilian acolytes. Alrighty then. And then darkness. You have one lead in your investigation, but she hasn't been very helpful so far. Kanaya, contact Future Jade. Okay then. Are you feeling any more cooperative in this time frame? Password? I see no. I see no, of course not. Please, I know you were talking to her shortly before. What did you say to her? I said, password, fuck us. Whoa. I don't think I've ever seen Jade swear before. That's amazing. Wow. Whoops, sorry. I've been having too many password arguments with Carcat, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, I guess over time he would rub off the at some point. I still don't understand the password thing. Past you doesn't care about passwords. What happened? Well, it depends. Do you want to have a silly conversation or a serious conversation? Which is favorable? Both are. But a silly conversation mostly doesn't matter or make the timeline more confusing than it needs to be. So, we can have one right now if you want. In fact, I would say it is coming dangerously close to being one already, but if it is a serious conversation you want, then I'm afraid I must demand a password. Can we discuss a serious issue in a silly manner? Nope. How am I supposed to know the password? Because I told you, I don't remember that. Exactly. I feel like I am trudging waist deep through a slither basin full of your human surprise noodles. Yum. I understand this silliness is currently permissible, but are you serious? But are serious questions about the password nonsense permissible as well? I suppose those are acceptable. Why are you demanding passwords from me and also apparently Carcat? To keep the conversation linear. I gave you a password at the end of our previous conversation. You have to give me that password to start our next conversation. This ensures that past you can't jump ahead into the conversation and mess everything up like you are like what you are trying to do right now. I am not trying to do that. I I know, but trust me, it's better this way. When will I get the password? I don't know. I have no idea what time you are from, but you will get it. I gave it to you this some time ago at the end of our last conversation, and I have been eagerly awaiting your linear and unconfusing reply ever since. Bye, Kanaya. All right, let me just. Hey, Jasmine. Let's see. So Toby Fox, creator of Undertale and Deltarune, made the song Megalovania, which was used as a boss theme. Was that used as a boss theme in Undertale, or did he just make the music for Homestuck? That particular song. Yeah, I do. It's funny. Before I do own Undertale, and I've played a little bit of it, but not I haven't finished Undertale yet. I do intend to finish it at some point. But the funny thing is with Toby Fox, I've probably have been listening to his music before I got into Undertale and also before I started reading Homestuck. And there's this amazing, let me try to find this. There's an amazing music video that he did at one point. Toby Fox music video. It looked like an anime. Let me look this up. Here it is. The Greatest Living Show, Toby Fox and Itoki Hana. Okay, so he made the music before Undertale. So Megalovania, so that song Megalovania is a Homestuck version of the song, but it's also an Undertale song. Is that right? Sorry if I miss it. By the way, Cool Beans, I really like your profile picture of girl Jax. That's one of my favorite drawings of Jax at the moment. Let me just check out this. By the way, this particular music video is a bit horrifying to watch, depending on what you're sensitive to. But you know, it's great. So yeah, let's just listen to some Toby Fox music for a moment. I don't know if I'll get copyright claimed, but hopefully I won't get in trouble. Not sure who the singer is, but yeah, they did a great job. So this Itoki Hana was a really big fan of Toby Fox, and then they got to collaborate on this. Yeah, let's see. Toby Fox originally made Megalovania for a fan-made ROM hack version of Earthbound he made. Then he used it in Homestuck and then Undertale. Okay, interesting. So, if I recall correctly, I haven't played Earthbound. I've seen Super Eye Patch's video on Mother 3, which I think is an Earthbound. I think that's an Earthbound game. And I think I heard somewhere that Andrew Hussey is a huge Earthbound fan. Apparently, he thought it was like the greatest thing ever, and apparently, like that's a massive influence on Homestuck. It has a much more convoluted history than you'd think. Interesting. Okay. Sorry, I just had to stare at that for a bit. I should probably stop watching it because it's about to get it gets to a point where it's like, oh, that's really upsetting to see. But yeah, I really love that particular music video. It's great. One of the best things, probably one of the best things Toby Fox has worked on. Well, I should probably finish Undertale and also play Deltarune before I make that claim. But yeah, I would really like to finish Undertale specifically because people have made crossover fan work of Homestuck and Undertale being in the same universe, and I'd like to see how people would do that, but I would have to like get into those particular works. One, after I finish playing Undertale, and two, probably after I finish Homestuck. And I'm apparently I'm only just getting close to halfway through with Homestuck. So yeah, I'll do yeah. Still haven't seen anything related to Earthbound, though I knew it was associated with Megalovania's earliest version. Yeah, yeah. Oof. Uh, I got 1% feedback. Okay. All good, Jasmine. All good. Um, I know she's always good at catching up, so it's all good. I will keep reading though, just because I got distracted by music. All right, Kanaya, contact Pass Jade. Get the password. Look at that tower. That's what that looks like to me. Uh, by the way, what Jade is wearing here reminds me of Iron Man, and I have no intention of watching Marvel's Doomsday. Just wanted to put that out there. I'm appreciating our conversation from the time frame more and more. Past you is much less of a taskmaster than future you or pre blackout Rose. Thanks, I think. What do you mean by pre blackout Rose? I mean, post blackout Rose is a lot less difficult insofar as she is unavailable. Um, okay, but what do you mean by blackout? I guess you'll find out soon and then report it to me under extremely specific circumstances, which is good because I sure don't know. Hmm. She's got like little squiggle eyes. Yes. Hmm. That face is a good response. Your eyes are right to be swelled letters. Are you. What are you doing? I am doing what you told me to do. I'm getting Dave to set up that expensive equipment so I can start doing all that witch of spacey stuff you were telling me about. Which I appreciate since my sprite turned out to be sad and useless and not very wise at all. I see. Well, I didn't actually tell you to. I was just being informative. Also, it wasn't technically witch of spacey stuff. I was a sylph, not a witch. Oh, what is a sylph? What is a sylph? I've heard that word. I've never looked it up. I think it's sort of like a witch, but more magical. A magical witch? Uh, try to think. What is a witch technically? From I forgot where I read this, but I heard that a lot of the women who would have been killed for witchcraft back during the witch hunting. I think it was like 200 years of like we were just hunting down witches all over Europe. Um, a lot of those women that would have been killed, and it was mostly women. There was a couple of guys, but it was mostly women. A lot of those women were probably just like the medieval equivalent of a doctor, or just people who were practicing medicine, uh, and they weren't doing like the housewife thing. They were, I don't know, probably maybe some of them were gay, but that's my theory though. But a lot of those women that were killed were apparently medieval equivalent of being a doctor. So that's so yeah. I guess like a witch you could say is a doctor, and this person's saying I'm a magical doctor. That uh, or it's probably not that deep. Anyways, yes, I'm completely certain of that. Suddenly, yeah, that's awesome. But regardless, I think our roles are approximately the same since we are both stokers of the forge, as well as holders of breeding duties. However, I should clarify that my earlier counsel was mostly academic. It takes weeks to do all of it properly. You won't have time. Breeding duties? Yeah, what the fuck? I just realized what she just said. Let me just um Let me just look up the word sylph real quick. Sylph, not sulfur. Sylph. Okay. A mythical, invisible spirit of the air. Okay, so like an airbender. So it's an airbender. As far as I'm aware, you'd basically be considered a witch if you were a feminist. Pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah. Please tell me that doesn't involve what it sounds like. Yeah, that's what, me too, Jade. Me too. What does it sound like? It sounds like it involves a lot of breeding. Well, it does, but not breeding through means typical of most species. Oh, does the equipment we are deploying have anything to do with it? It has a lot to do with it. It is cloning equipment, much like what is scattered all over the Vale. The same kind responsible for creating all of us. Okay, then that's pretty neat. That's a relief. I didn't mean to alarm you by implying you were required to wage a great deal of personal procreation over a span of several weeks. Yeah, woo. Though it should be clear that repopulation is among our duties as well in the long term. And I've gathered that the cloning apparatus in the Vale is probably meant to permit an initial boost on the world we select for settlement. But beyond that, it is up to the descendants to perpetuate the race. And your species has quite an advantage in this respect. How so? Your procreation may be carried out by paired individuals autonomously, whereas ours may not, which is what makes our role particularly important. What is your role? I'm the keeper of the matriorb. It is an egg that will hatch a new mother grub, and she alone will be responsible for bearing our young. Whoa, cool. So you are like bugs, like bees or ants or such, but with horns. I guess so. And you are like erect livestock without the muscle definition or the hermaphroditic physiology for that matter. But milk producers nonetheless that that rare kind of organism to nurture hatchless young within. Are you not? Yes. This is such a horror. Oh my god. Okay, so um I've read this book called Axiom's End by Lindsay Ellis, and it's really good. I say it's really good, but I own the sequels to that book, and I still haven't gotten around to reading them yet. I've been meaning to for a while, and I should do it soon. I've been thinking recently, oh yeah, I really got to read those sequels because I really did enjoy that first book. But what I read in the first book, spoilers, Axiom's End is about aliens. It's about so this girl she comes across this alien and the alien they talk about the fact that the aliens are sort of like they're sort of post biology where they don't really have biological parts to them. It's like they just have their brain and I think a little bit of their nervous system, and then the rest of their body is just mechanical parts. It's all just so it's kind of like because it's also inspired by Transformers, so most of their body is just some type of metal that can also regenerate, if I recall correctly. And yeah, it's really cool. But at some point, and there's this question of, well, how do they reproduce? And they've got this thing called a genome, and it's like it's something that's locked up in this like weirdly organic looking chest. It's not like a metal thing, and it's like, okay, what's in that? And then at some point that chest opens and we see the genome, and the genome is this ugly looking fleshy thing, and that's where and it's this creature, and it's never I don't think it was explained very well at the time. Okay, if these aliens are like these robot things with like a brain and a stem, is it saying that the genome is what they would have been like if they still had their bodies? Not really sure if that was clear. Um, but yeah, it was just this weird looking, horrible, and I think it was supposed to be a girl, and the reason they had this genome was that that was like the future of their species. I don't know, but it's like, okay, how was that gonna work? Um, yeah, so yeah, great story, highly recommend. Uh, so if you fought against traditional values, they'd hunt you down. Pretty much, they would. That's how the hunts went. It is similar to external fertilization. They never actually established how the fertilize if fertilization was even a thing in Axiom Sand. It wasn't very clear. It was they just had this. They sort of just referred to it as, oh yeah, this is our genetic information, and then the process in which they would be able to reproduce is not really made clear. Like, I don't think it was ever stated what it was. It was just like, ah, yes, this is the future of our species, and it's like, and we are protecting that. And it's like, oh, okay. But yeah, it wasn't, yeah, the process wasn't explained. And in the end, it wasn't, it doesn't really matter in the end, I think, because reasons that I won't explain. Um, Whoa, cool bugs. Yes, let's go. Let's continue. Maybe they clone each other. Kind of like what happens here. Probably that could have been an aspect. Anyway, I had imagined I would. Is this a? You got the auxiliary key. Okay. Anyway, I had imagined I would hatch the new grub on a planet in your universe. And when that became impossible, I quickly lost hope. I assumed it would remain locked in its card forever, which could only be opened when the orb was meant to be used. But then I found something quite unexpected when I was exploring this lab. I found a key. It was deep in the meteor, and as I suspected, it released the orb, which was really confusing to me for a while until I realized what it meant, which is so obvious I'm amazed I didn't think of it right away. What? It means I am supposed to use it now to hatch the grub in the heart of this meteor. Okay. She's about to become a mother. You think so? Sure, there is no reason a meteor couldn't act as the center of our race's resurrection. They are themselves like large seeds, after all. The only question is whether we can manage to keep it from being destroyed, as well as whether I am able to raise a mother grub to maturity. Oh wow, that thought is actually pretty overwhelming. Yeah, I think you can do it. You do? Yes. Didn't you say your Lucis was a grub? Yes, she was in fact a mother grub, who relinquished her calling as matriarch to raise me. That's perfect. If you were raised by a mother grub, then you are in a great position to raise one yourself. It is like a sort of family legacy, a really cool alien family legacy. Okay, thanks for saying so. We I always like seeing Jade like being like a space being a space cadet type of character. It's always makes me happy. I just gotta quickly duck to the bathroom. I'll be back real quick. Hi there. Okay, I'm back. So, are you saying this is a radia? No, that's not. No, no, that's not what you saying. Did I think someone who? Oh, was it? Oh, that's right. It was. See, radia is. She's. She's the one that. She's the one that's wearing red, right? She's wearing red in the. She ascended and then she like trapped Jack Noir in a red bubble. Is that what you're saying? Sorry, I'm just putting on my jacket because it's still a bit cold down in Sydney at the moment. Okay, let me just read the chat. The S Aradia. Yeah, okay, okay, gotcha. And welcome back, Jasmine. Okay, don't mention it. So, how does this cloning stuff work? It's very involved. Like I said, you won't have time. In fact, it probably should have taken considerably longer than it took me. I was a little rushed. I want to try anyway. If you can hold out hope for rebuilding your race in the center of a meteor, then I think I can at least try to get a little cloning done with the time I have left. Yeah, she, Jade is a clone, right? She, like, aren't they all just a bunch of clones? And then, uh, John is like the male clone of Jade and vice versa for Dave and Rose. Yep, Aradia's god tier outfit red, and she is a time player. That's right. Okay, we haven't watched him ascend yet, so yeah. Okay. All right. All right. So I'll be wary of the spoilers. Um. By the way, without telling me the ending of Homestuck, obviously, I was just wondering, were people satisfied or disappointed with the ending? I'm just kind of curious as to what the emotional reaction was at the time. If you're able to share that with me, what did you guys think of the ending without spoiling Homestuck? I'm just very curious about that. Um, I want to try it anyway. If you can hold out hope, yes, you're right. I can't imagine how you can complete the objective in the given time. But weirder things have happened, I think. First, deploy the pad. Yes, Dave is doing that at the moment, at the top of his ridiculous tower. Why all the way up there? Didn't she say it needed to be in a warm place? Yes, that's right. My house is freezing now. It can it ran on geothermal power before, and I guess there's no heat anywhere inside this planet. That will probably change if you light the forge, but one thing at a time, I guess. Yes, I would like to hear about that later. But yeah, the weather seems just fine out here in the medium. Let's see how Dave is doing. Okay, I I don't remember. I cried as I do for the ending of anything, so I guess it was good enough for me. That sounds very hopeful. It sounds like I'll be in for something resonant. I wasn't around to see the reaction live since I read it after the fact, but I love the ending quite a lot. I think there was a sizable amount of people that didn't like it, but again, I'm not the best source for that. Okay. Yeah, yeah, it's always I think like some people they do have a point about the end, about the ending being bad in some regards, but usually I usually find that when endings are bad, it's because the show itself became bad like a couple seasons ago. And it's very hard for me to imagine, like, okay, if the majority of the story is good, but you like I'm thinking about Star versus the Forces of Evil. Like that show was pretty good from start to finish, but people really hated the ending. And I thought the ending was actually genuinely interesting. I thought that it was a really great ending. Um, and I didn't really see the problem with the decisions that were made for it. But that's just me, though. That's just me. Okay, Dave, deploy cloning apparatus. All right. Jade, examine. It's so small. That's the appropriate size for the equipment, but clone babies can barely even fit on that thing. Babies? What? I mean, young humans, that we milk producers nurture hatchless within. Yes, I know. I didn't mean to suggest your breeding duties involved cloning humans. Repopulation is not what's happening here. It's not your objective as the Witch of Space. Not yet, anyway. Then what is the objective? What am I breeding? Frogs. We're going full Jurassic Park right now. Sorry, I thought that was obvious. Oh my god. Ah, that's oh my god. It's just, um okay. I can't get over how tiny this thing is. It's so cute. So the baby frogs show up on this pad here? Yes, I can't wait to try it. What are you laughing at there? Oh, well, Dave just has a lot of funny stuff to say about all this. What is he saying? Oh, a bunch of silly stuff. There's too much to copy paste. Hmm. Here, I'll save it to a file and send it to you. Okay, I'm laughing pretty hard at all that. All right, how do I get started? He will need to deploy the terminal. The terminal, then you can start hunting for frogs to purify from around your world. Okay, just let me just read the chat real quick. I came back for this conversation. Okay, good to know, Jasmine. All right, Dave, deploy terminal. Uh-huh. Okay, here is a frog on the screen. Oh no, is it trapped in ice? Oh, that's fine. They're still alive. I would conjecture that most of them are and will stay that way until the forge is brought to life. I think the event is designed to trigger drastic planetary upheaval wherever the forge is stationed. It did on my planet as well. Was your planet covered in ice too? No, obviously water. Cool. Anyway, I will try to rescue this frog. So I push this button and purify it? Yes. It probably won't do any good, but you can try. Okay. Purify the frog. Oh god, it is still a frogsicle. This will not do. The problem isn't that the frog is still frozen. The problem is that you were able to purify it at all. Ectobiology is based entirely on your inability to purify a subject. I don't understand, but I am intrigued. If that frog were destined to do something else, such as become ensnared in your net later, you would not be able to purify it because that would cause a paradox. So instead, you would purify its slime imprint, the paradox slime, as what is important here. You can mix it with the slime from other paradoxically purified frog imprints, study the genes and selectively combine, and then create resulting paradox clones. What? Okay, that makes sense, I think. No, it doesn't. How can I purify some frog slime? You'll need to direct the terminal to another frog, and then you must be sure later to interfere with that frog in some way. For instance, by planning to venture out to capture that exact frog, as I suggested earlier, that way it will be impossible to purify the frog before your interference has taken place. Only its slime will arrive. Blech. So it is like a sort of backwards frog breeding clone. Clone first, catch later. Yes. John can attest to that. The ectobiology is based on your inability to purify things. Search for a new frog. It's a sweaty looking frog. Okay, I will try this. Heh, heh. Look at this handsome guy hiding in the woods and being sneaky. He looks frozen solid too. Oh, he's frozen. Those are icicles. Um, so if I go bother him later, that means if I try to take him now, I will only get slime, right? Yes, that should work. Make a note of the coordinates, then travel to interact with your cloned subjects. You are also taking the opportunity to explore and discover new habitats, as well as new species of frogs for your terminal to track its efficient to track its efficient to track. It's efficient to go adventuring in this fashion while you are waiting for your young clones to mature. That sounds like fun. Yes, it's a lot of fun. It is also extremely time consuming. Unlike some purifiers in the Veil, this one is locked to the present moment. You cannot use it as a window into the future or past and isolate those futures. Isolate frogs whose futures are certain and therefore most paradoxifiable. Means of expedition are limited. I suppose you could use time travel to accelerate the process, but you would need to establish weeks' worth of stable time loops. I think it would be an overly elaborate and dangerous undertaking personally, and anyone who would attempt such a thing is reckless. I wouldn't advise it. Okay, hang on while I clone this fella. Yeah, I like that she says stuff like fella. It's very cute. Yay! You'll need somewhere to keep them while they grow, like a pool or a tank or such, or at least something temporary. Water wasn't very hard for me to come by, but for you, I don't know. I will think of something. I won't let the poor little guy suffocate. Give him a home. It's a little tadpole. Look at that. He's in an 8 ball. Amazing. So I am supposed to wait for him to grow up and then breed him with another frog paradox clones. Yes, but this isn't all there is to the cloning process. A true paradox clone is an exact genetic duplicate of the subject. Later, that clone will be sent back in time to become itself. In fact, if it isn't an exact duplicate, this is guaranteed to happen. This is what classifies as a paradox clone. Any duplicate which genetically deviates from the original is not. It is simply a mutant. And for breeding purposes, mutation is desirable within reason. You may adjust the settings to the equipment to promote genetic anomalies, but it's very delicate and you can go too far. Responsibly guiding the evolution of the genetic code during the breeding process is very important. In fact, it is the most important thing about this of all. It is, yes. Huh. So, what is the actual purpose of all this breeding? Am I trying to make one really special frog with just the right genetic code or something? Sort of like the ultimate frog? Actually, yes, that's exactly what you're doing. Oh, your objective is to breed the Genesis frog. Now we're getting biblical, but with frogs. By the way, Jasmine, I believe you talked about. I think you brought up the fact that. I'm not sure if you got back to me on Blue Sky about it, but I think you because I think I was talking about the fact that that in my opinion the cartoon series that was going to adapt Homestuck, the Vivzy Pop show, of Homestuck that it had been like I thought that it had been cancelled because it underperformed the pilot that is. But you said that I think you said that there was new information that it was actually going ahead and that they were taking in fan feedback about how to make it better, which I'm curious about that. I'm very curious to learn more about like, is it going to happen? In which case, when I'm done reading Homestuck, I guess I'll keep react. I guess there'll be still more Homestuck to react to. Um, it'll never end. It'll always be a thing. It'll always be happening. Oh, sorry, I just gotta check my mobile game real quick. I almost forgot to set up the my shield. Come on. Okay, good. And I'm safe. Okay, let's go. Why? You can't complete the game without doing so. Your entire mission depends on breeding him. Him? So he is a boy frog? Yes. He will begin as a tadpole like you have there, but considerably bigger, and he will mature to become the speaker, a deity-like figure idolized by the consorts who wait for him to come. The speaker? He's known as the speaker of the vast croak. My goodness. Um, the vast croak. Croak. Yes, the croak. Really, it's quite vast and something to behold. Um, something to behold. Something to behold. It's the most amazing thing I have seen. Then the speaker is like a god, but then there are a lot of them, like one for each session, kind of like the kings and queens. Uh, the kings and queens. Yes, there will be one for every session should the players be successful, and each one is a unique product of their quest. The kingdoms are at odds over his creation. Prospit worships him much as the consorts do. Durs, I nearly said deserts. Durs reviles him and outlaws frogs wherever they can, even the iconography. Their agents mock his name with slurs like speaker of the vast joke or Billy is slick. Although, to be honest, that is what he ended up calling, what we ended up calling him. Not to be disrespectful, though, it was just a catchier name. Just a second. I just gotta go check on something. I'll remember my spot. Just give me a quick moment. me just read the chat real quick. Okay, Frog Riddle. Okay, let me just take this. Tadpole Vriska could say. uh, I wasn't sure, but heard some rumor or something. Totally forgot to check that. I don't think feedback was mentioned, but I'll look when I have time. Thanks, Jasmine. I don't think it's been greenlit. However, I do think it's been. I don't think it's been cancelled either. That's true. I wish they would say which way they're gonna go because I'm curious to see what they'll do. Just in limbo. Has Been Hotel took like 4 years to get greenlit. I guess it was. I guess that was the case, but like in that particular case, after the pilot, it was so successful that they were doing like Q&As with the cast. They were sort of like, they were, stuff. It felt like updates were happening. Like they were sort of going around. So, yeah, we're looking to sell it to somewhere. It was gonna I felt like stuff was happening, and then like it always felt like something was happening, and then I guess there was hell of a boss made it seem like eventually Has Been Hotel was gonna happen, but with the Homestuck animation, it just feels like nothing's happening. You know, it's not as people aren't really talking about on social media. I feel like online, like on YouTube, people were constantly like, giving me updates about, Has Been Hotel but yeah, it never felt like Has Been Hotel was like stuck in limbo. It just, it was just they were developing the series the whole time. So yeah, it will continue to keep happening. It is already though. Not everyone reads it. Yeah. Glub 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 glub. Genesis Frog was Vast Croak or Durst calls it speaker of the Vast Joke. Yep. Can't Kanaya's getting into it now. Catchy a name. Love how Homestuck always keeps the Vast or the ultimate wherever it can. Homestuck will forever be about reusing everything, like land already, thirst being for John, now for Tav. Yeah, yeah, there was a lot more transparency with Hasbin. Yeah, where yeah, it's like I'm sure what's his name, Sky Hen. I think his name's what's the guy whoever directed the pilot, Sky Henwood, I think his name is. I think he would really like to make the rest of it. It really surprises me that he said that he considers himself to have like a lot of intimate knowledge the about about the source material, because it really didn't feel that way. Um, it doesn't feel that way anymore. Um, yeah. Okay, Bilious Slick. You did I read this whole thing? No, I catch your name. It is catchy. It is pretty catchy. If I call him that, I will be sure to say I mean no offense. I doubt it's even possible to offend him. That's good. Okay, then what? What do we do after I make this big god froggy? Does it have something to do with the new universe we create? Most certainly. You said he was a Genesis frog. Does that mean we bring him into the universe and he makes new planets for life or such? No, you're not really understanding the magnitude of his role. He is not responsible for just one aspect of the universe you create. He's responsible for all of them. Bilious Slick is your universe. Okay then. Oh, Sky Henwood is a woman. I don't know why I thought that Sky was. I don't know why I thought that. I don't. Okay. Thanks for correcting me about that. Why did I think that? I don't know. My mistake. Really, I don't mean he's the universe you are from. We engineered that incarnation. He is the universe that you are trying to create. Yes, I got that. Sorry, I thought it was obvious, but then wasn't sure. You mean he is literally a universe? Yeah, little Kanaya, yes. It's like a little peanut. Let's see. Uh, Sorry, I'm just looking up Sky Henwood because I don't know why I thought. No, okay, you're completely correct. I don't know where the hell I got my information from before. Why did I think that? I feel so stupid now. Um, okay. Yes, you mean he is literally a universe? Yes, literally. Or get that statement was as little as you can possibly make words be. I know your species is frequently insincere for a variety of reasons, but your species is too, especially Karkat. He is incredibly sarcastic. That's true, but when we do it, it's usually just because we are trying to be jerks, rather than by way of a mild manner, perpetually dispatching little puzzles of rhetoric without apparent purpose. But I don't do that. I try to say what I mean as much as I can. Um, so, that reminds me. I got a text message from my friend yesterday. Let me look up what he said. So he was telling me about the fact. So he's been watching something called Dota 2 Internationals, and he said the commentators. He said, "Haha! Oh my god! One of the Dota 2 international commentators reminds me so much of you. Uh, he's blunt, brutal to people when others are trying to be polite. It's pretty funny." And I said, "I'll try to take that as a compliment." And he says, "You should take that as a compliment. A lot of people don't say what they mean." And I said, "Yeah, why don't people just say what the fuck they mean?" So that was our conversation yesterday. Let's see. By way of mild manner, perpetually dispatching little puzzles. Yeah, I think I've been discerning that. It's a very nice change of pace. From what? Oh, it's not important. Haha, you mean from Rose. Well, not that it wasn't an enjoyable exercise in xenocultural inculcation. Inculcation. What does inculcation mean? Yeah, Rose and Dave are like that all the time. They inculcate that stuff like crazy. So you have you have been talking to her a lot, I guess. Sort of. Are you best friends now? I guess as mutually friendly as the time has permitted two people to be. I won't be speaking to her anymore though. Why? Oh yeah, because you said she is blacked out. What the heck does that mean? Let me just read the chat real quick. Small child. The babies in Homestuck are genuinely so adorable. Okay. Yeah. Uh, what the heck does that mean? Uh, it just means in a few moments, from your perspective, I won't be able to see her through my viewport or talk to her. I don't know why exactly, but it's not that hard to guess. She has been relying on the powers and counsel of dark gods and other sources of ambiguous intent. And She has consequently devised a plan which sounds very dangerous to me. Yeah, I didn't like the sound of her plan either. You are more sensible. It's probably the influence Skya has had on you, having spent much of your life awake on Prospect like me. You did? If you were like, in some ways, maybe, if you were alike in some ways, maybe it's because of this. No, if we're alike in some ways, maybe it's because of this. Yeah, I woke up along. So do they both? Because that's right. Jade had she's a narcoleptic, and uh, and this person whose name I've forgotten, they what's their deal? Like, so I guess they spent a lot of time in a coma or something. Inculcation is the act of teaching or impressing ideas, beliefs, or values on someone's mind through persistent instruction or frequent repetition. Okay. Sorry. Uh, yeah, sorry. I just started to realize I got a sore throat happening, so I probably won't be able to speak for much longer, which is annoying. Uh, okay. I woke up a long time ago. I had trouble sleeping when I was young. The sunlight was unnaturally invigorating to me, so I guess my Lucis could do nothing to help. And then I was supposed to be in my cocoon. And when I was supposed to be in my cocoon, I would often wander out to the desert, where one day I was visited by a stranger who dressed and spoke in white. Spoke in white? He put me to sleep, and I awoke on Prospect, where I have dreamed ever since. He said he was my guardian, and though he visited rarely, I did regard him as that. Then later he stopped coming. In time, I began to believe he was a figment of my mind, like an imaginary friend to give me reassurance when I needed it. But then, while playing our game, I learned he was real. He had spoken to others from our party and had been manipulating us all to advance his schemes. It was saddening to learn my fortuitous awakening had been the product of a nefarious ploy. You're lucky that your awakening probably had no such entanglements. Geez, I hope not. I guess it's only a minor contamination of something otherwise great. I was allowed to see what Skya would show me, and to prepare for dangers ahead and try to protect people. Me too. Wow, Kanaya, I did not realize how much we had in common. You're right, we do. I feel a bit silly that it took me so long to engage with the one corresponding closely with my role. It must be a certain madness I'm inflicted by, or to orbit those more reckless and dangerous than I and more daring for it. I guess I want to help them, but they never can be helped, it seems. Well, it sounds like helping people is something that is in your nature. I can understand that. Are you saying Rose is reckless and dangerous? Yes, definitely. We have our we have our share of dangerous players who seem to do nothing but cause problems. I believe she is yours, and if her insane plan wasn't alarming enough, she has been communicating with the stranger I mentioned, and unsurprisingly, she has not been forthright about the nature of their conversations. You mean your guardian? Yes, he's not merely a guardian. I'm very sure he is a thirst guardian, like your Lucis was. Oh. I'm not sure why, but the sound of that makes me really nervous. Yeah, I was wondering if the person in white was actually Beck. They might not be the same one, but um we'll find out, I guess. Eh. I feel the same way about it. The involvement of any such entity strikes me as quite inauspicious, even when seemingly benign. She didn't mention anything about this when we talked, but then she seemed preoccupied. She was? You'll have a chance to determine more soon, after which hopefully you can tell me. Yeah, I will. In the meantime, I will go. I would like to return to the core to situate this orb. It seems you have your own orb to care for now. Lol, I guess so. Okay, can you do that? You can okay, you can do that, and I guess I will check on Rose, but there's still so much I want to know. I want to know more about stoking the forge and breeding the frogs and about your time on Prospect and all that. Let me just read the chat real quick. They're both Prospect dreamers who are tasked with stoking the forge, the hatching creation of something. They both have volcanoes, which are the forge. Okay. Kind of like in Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah, the daytime is supposed to be aversive, but Kanaya's intro said she's not like that. S return to the core is next. Oh, there's an animation coming up. It's just the one room. I don't know quite how long. How many pages would I have to read? Because this is a pretty long page. Okay, I will definitely help you as much as I can. The young prospect walkers ought to stick together. Yes, I'll manage you again in your future, and you may reply if you have cause to. If I have cause to, oh, that reminds me, I was thinking of implementing a system to keep some of these confusing conversations simple and linear. Does it by any chance have to do with passwords? Yes, I guess someone told you. Yes, you. You delivered news of the system by demanding a password from me. Ah, you see, you nearly just gave me the idea for a plan in the first place, paradoxically, from my own future self. I just find that kind of thing annoying for some reason. It doesn't feel right. I would rather ideas came from the place they actually came from. That's a reasonable attitude. Okay, let's put the system in play starting now. Starting now. I will give you a password and you give it to me in the future when you want to pick up the conversation again. Okay, the password is croak. It must be in all caps and must contain precisely 10 O's. 10. I'm counting 11. Oops. 11 then. The password system is already paying overwhelming dividends of ease and rationality. Oh, Kanaya, that sounded just a wee bit sarcastic. Oh, wow, yeah, I hope I'm not falling prey to a crisis of sincerity. You are just becoming multicultural, that's all. I think I am learning to be more multicultural through Carcat as well. It mostly involves saying fuck a lot. Oh no, it's okay, he's really not so bad. Yeah, I know. Okay, go hatch that orb. I will be waiting. Yes, I'll do that. Bye, Jade. Later. Okay, so you want me to check out this particular? So is this gonna be an animation then? And then we'll have to call it a day here. At least we can end on an animation. I'm assuming this is gonna be an animation. Yeah, this is gonna be an animation. No, it's a game. Wait, what's going? Relaxing in the horn pile, I see. Yes, why don't you hop in too, Kanaya. There is plenty of space. Solux and I are glubbing about feelings. That sounds nice. But it really doesn't look like there is much room in that pile of horns at all, and I should get going anyway. Yeah, of course, there's no room. It was kind of moronic. It was kind of a moronic invitation, to be honest. Hey, shut your mopey blowhole. I was just showing a little basic courtesy. Really, you are just the grouchiest dude sometimes. And it's really cute. Also, let's get real. This horn pile isn't comfortable at all, I imagine not. I've got hard metal edges jabbing in me everywhere, and it's lumpy as hell, and you can't move a fucking inch without honking the shit out of it and making everyone in the room look at you. What idiot thought this was the ideal thing to chill out on? Oh, that's right, a brain-dead clown who eats toxic slime. You probably like it because it's like a coral reef or some horrible, jagged underwater pile of shit like that. Grouchy mother glubber. Okay, I will leave you be. Kanaya, I see that look on your face. You are curious but are nervous about meddling. Am I right? Come on, we're having a private conversation here. It's okay, really. We were sharing some feelings about stuff. Solux was feeling bummed out because Aradia blew up, and she was his very close friend. Holy shit, yes, let's talk about all my problems openly. I love that. Hey, KK, check this out. My emotions are serving as entertainment again. Yeah. Hey, car crab, get your nubs over here. Plenty of room in the pile. Oh my god, that was such an obscene gesture. He just made... Anyway, yeah, now that is gonna forever. I feel more depressed and useless than usual, and I was already pretty goddamn useless to begin with, let's face it. But I have it on good authority that she is fine. Everything's going to go swimmingly. You'll see. Don't you mean S-E-A for fairy? Shouldn't you have said that instead? Sorry, I just need to drink some water. Okay. You are so ridiculously optimistic. It's kind of sickening. Why do you even put up with me? If you weren't so great, I would think you were a fucking idiot for liking me. So are they a couple now, these two, or what's going on? So I guess thanks for liking me? No, wasn't he going out with Aradia? Who did Aradia kiss? She kissed someone before she blew up, right? Wait, that sounded so pathetic. Oh god, I should probably take that back. Kanaya, what the fuck are you still doing here? God damn it. Can't a guy get a little blubbing privacy with a fish girl in a pile of horns? Okay, talk about Terezi. Tell Carcat where. Be Carcat? What was that about? I don't know, I guess I fucked up again. I can't seem to do anything right in her eyes anymore. I mean, nose. Maybe you should go say something to her. Well, I would, but she's probably, um, burrowed fuck deep in this lab now by now. Read the comments. Okay, for fairy is FF, KK is Carcat, also Card. So I'm just gonna be honest. I think I really need to rest my throat now. Um, I'll restart this particular thing at the beginning of the next stream that we do, which will be next week. Just gonna turn this loud ass music off. So yeah, I'll start this whole thing at the beginning of the next stream. It'll be fun, and I'm looking. I'd like to go through all of it, and it'll be great. But yeah, I need to give my throat a rest. But I appreciate everyone for coming out for this, and I'll continue with more next week. And also, we're very close to the end of the month. So just to remind, next month I'll be doing Slay the Princess. And I said probably not tomorrow. I'm not sure if I think I am getting sick, unfortunately. I wish I wasn't getting sick on the weekend, but I think I might be getting sick. I did everything I could not to get sick, but I have a feeling I'm probably not gonna be able to do it tomorrow. Um, but yeah, I'll do Homestuck next week. I'll definitely be better by then, and I'll be doing Slay the Princess for next month, and then after that for October, I'm going to let you guys vote for whatever horror. I think I have like 4 horror games I haven't played yet, so I'll let you guys vote for which one I'll play for October. But yeah, I should probably and stop here and yeah. Otherwise, enjoy your weekend and yeah, hopefully I'll see you next week. All right, thanks a lot. Bye.